Here with the healing consultant. You guys know what it is. It is officially Wednesday. And when we have our Wednesdays, we heal around here. That's what we do.
Yes,
We get into it, honey. Because we want to be healthy, we want to be lively, we want to make sure we're in a good spot. And you know how we do that? By listening to the healing consultant.
Thank you. Yes.
Our girl is back, honey. She is back and she's answering all of your questions because we got a lot of people who are interested in CBD and just wanting to debunk the myths. Like I said, the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever we want to say.
Yes.
We're just going to dive right into it.
Absolutely. We're going to talk.
We're going to talk.
We're going to talk.
I love it. Talk to her, honey.
Talk to me like you mean it. All right.
So how you doing today?
I am fine, honey. How are you?
I can't complain.
No reason to.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello. Other than we're hot, but that's okay.
Yes. No reason to. No reason to. We're here.
We are here. So with that being said, on today's episode, as I mentioned, we're going to be talking about a little Q&A here, and feel free to jump in at any moment with your questions, or if something just doesn't quite make sense, you know, we're here to elaborate on that.
Absolutely. That's what we're here for.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let's get into our first question of the day, which I thought was really cool because people want to know a little bit more about you. And our first question is, why are you so passionate about CBD?
Oh, well, you know, that's a long question, but you know, the short of it is that I, like many other things, life happened to me. And as I've said, my husband, bless his heart, introduced me to them, telling me they were vitamins, and they worked. It worked for me, but I needed to know why and how. And I truly thought that if it's working for me, a skeptic, you know, how can it help someone? You know, can I help other people? Can I help other women? Can I help other people with some of life's stressors just to get them through it? And that's when it became a passion, because I thought to myself, why not? Why not help people have some tools and help them as it helped me? And I thought, oh my God, what a gem. Absolutely. I have to get the information out there to people, because it wasn't out there. It wasn't out there. I'm sorry. I guess you take that back. It was so much of it out there. And there was no way that you could truly digest a lot of that. And I thought, well, I'm a healthcare provider. It's worked for me. I am very passionate about seeing it possibly help others. And I thought, well, that's where we're going with it. And it was just me, when people were asking me how I was coping and how I was dealing with it, with my loss, that I thought, okay, I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to tell my story.
Absolutely.
And that's how it happened. That's how it started happening. And that's where the passion became real and viable and pliable, because people were asking, and not only were they asking, they were wanting for me to help them too. And it just kind of, it became organic.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Well, I'm a nurse.
Yes.
You know, that's what we do.
Exactly. It's all about your heart.
It is.
You know, it's all about your heart. And I thought it was really funny for someone to ask this next question, because we've heard behind the scenes about your journey getting into the CBD realm and how easy it was not.
Yes.
And for anyone of color, you know, it's very difficult trying to shatter that glass ceiling or just open that door. Yes. So the next question that we got is, are there any other Black people, or I guess people of color, in the CBD field?
I'm sure there are. I just haven't met them. And they are not, they're not, at least I hope, maybe I should say that. I hope there are. I have been blessed that when I went back to school and started truly educating myself about cannabis and CBD and all the 280 compounds in marijuana plants, I began to see a couple of people. They don't live in this state, though. I'm going to be honest, and I hope I can change that. But it's right now it's kind of a singular journey. But I'm running into people.
That's good.
But not in this type of space. But that's going to change, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You are someone's, you are inspirational to someone out here.
I hope so. And I hope that if they're listening out there, to please email me. Email me at Spencer at the Healing Consultant, because I'd like for us to know each other. I'd like to bring in, because right now it's no. I can honor right now that I'm like I said, I hope that there's some out there, but I haven't met.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's okay. You're going to change that.
I hope
hey
so.
Now.
Hey
now.
Yes.
Hey
Email
now.
me, people. Email me if
right.
you're out there.
And it's not going anywhere.
No, ma'am.
So listen, like we always say, you get into a field that involves marriage, divorce, sex, death,
yes,
and now CBD.
And it doesn't go any. It's not going anywhere.
Not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere.
Mm-mm.
So if you're interested in getting in the field, or if you have questions, we have the email. We're popping it up right now.
Yes.
Email Spencer at thehealingconsultant.com.
Yes.
And then let's be honest. Let's find ways for us to get into these areas where they're not technically meant for us, but it's meant for us to benefit off of.
Absolutely. Because let's be honest. The field has benefited off of us. So, why not? There are some entrepreneurs out there that have been in this game for a while, but they've been underground. And my journey, I think you and I have talked about that. My journey through going through opening up a company, and navigating through that. We've talked about that journey.
Absolutely. And it's not an easy one, as we all know.
It is not. It is not. And that is something, completely different. But I can share my experiences with trying to travel through those roads. And they've been a long road. You and I both know that.
Hello.
Yes.
Goodness. Hello.
Yes.
But there's more of us that are needed.
Yes.
And not last week, but the week prior, we were talking about gummies.
Yes.
And their benefits.
Yes.
And people had some questions, even after the show about certain gummies. So this one, especially in the world that we live in, where more people are starting to become vegan, they asked, what is the difference between vegan and organic gummies?
Well, first of all, let me say that everything that is vegan is not natural. And everything that organic doesn't mean that it's free from additive ingredients. So I think that it's that word, the wording of things doesn't mean that that's one without the other. So vegan, like I said, it's not necessarily natural, but I always think when you think of vegan, you always think fruits and vegetables, and you think, that everything in it is natural. It is not. That's not it. It's just there's some plant-based items in the product.
Absolutely.
And organic, like I said, does not necessarily mean it's raised. But it doesn't necessarily mean that there's not some sort of active ingredients added to that for preservatives. So, that's the main difference between the two.
Do you feel like some people are using it as a selling point?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We all have been to the store, and organic products cost more than than natural fruits and vegetables. We know that. We know that. But that does not mean that something hasn't, a pesticide or
Mhm.
or something hasn't been subjected to that. I wish that was the case, but that's not.
And we had talked about this the week
Mhm.
prior about, watching out about how it's grown because there are
Yes,
things in, the soil and
absolutely.
all of that. And I don't think people pay attention to that. It's just like, oh, dirt won't hurt. So let's go for it.
Yes, it is not the ad that dirt won't hurt. Put it in your mouth and let it work.
Right.
It's not that. Please do not do that. With your hemp or your cannabis. That's not the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why we talked about the certificate of analysis.
Yes.
Remember, we talked
Mhm.
about what your plants are grown in,
Mhm.
zinc, pesticides, minerals. It's not always good.
Mhm.
It's not good if you're growing. So
Mhm.
that's a big deal.
See,
That's a
all
big
right,
deal.
y'all better get with it and listen, honey. Don't just be putting anything in your
Yes.
body. Don't do
Yes.
it.
It's true. It's a true story. It is.
You know,
Yeah, it
goodness.
all is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So then our next question is where
Yes.
you actually were asked this, where they said, what is it, terpene?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I think because we're gonna do real talk here.
Yes, ma'am.
I
Let's
think
get
we
to it.
all have been around marijuana, and you smell that distinctive smell that we all know about. Those are terpenes. Have you ever been around smoke and it smells like kind of a lemony or a piney
Mm-hmm.
or, something a little fruity? Those are your terpenes. Those are actually good things. Believe it or not, terpenes are things like pepper, black pepper, oregano, rosemary, all those natural ingredients. Those are those aromas and those compounds. That's what you're smelling coming off of marijuana.
Mm.
Yes, yes. You use them every day.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I love
You
some
use them every
rosemary,
day.
honey. I love rosemary.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And they have their own benefits, right?
Mm-hmm.
So combined with this cousin, this plant, I mean, it has so many benefits to that. I mean, we all do oregano and rosemary and basil and pepper and, citrus. We love citrus. All of us do.
Mm-hmm.
Those things are terpenes. All of those are. It's lanolin. I mean, we call it lanolin or limonon
Mm-hmm.
or pinene but yeah.
Now, are any of those really benefiting it when you're smoking, or is it just a fragrance?
They do. It
Okay.
is believed. Scientists believe that they actually are. It's like a little package, and that's really kind of what, if you look at marijuana or hemp, whatever you want to do, they all work in conjunction with each other.
Mm-hmm.
They all give you that entourage effect
Mm-hmm.
of anti-inflammatories and antidepressive qualities, and the THC works with all of its like pinene,
Mm-hmm.
which gives you that kind of smell that we love and that we take in, and it's kind of it's just a combination of things. It's kind of what we call an entourage effect. They all kind of work in conjunction with each other. Yes, ma'am.
Don't you look up? I learn something new every single time you walk your tail in here.
Thank you. Well, that's what I'm trying to do, honey. I'm trying to educate one podcast at a time.
I know, that's right.
One question at a time.
Let's get the information. And I love that it's coming from somebody who looks like me. Hey,
yes. Now. Yeah. Because I'm going to do real talk.
Oh.
I am. I'm going to do real talk. Because who else is?
Exactly.
I would love it.
Exactly. And it's an overwhelming topic because, like you mentioned, you can go into any store or go on any website, and as long as it has that CBD label, it's just like, oh, this is quality, when there's so many things to break down and to consider before you actually go and purchase this product.
Well, yes. And I mean, not to mention, we've talked about this also, is that if you don't have a certificate of analysis, because they don't list the ingredients on it.
Mm-mm.
They don't.
Mm-mm.
And they don't have to.
No, not at all.
They don't have to.
Not at all.
Not at
Honey,
all.
that's one thing that we learned last week, baby.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about. They don't have to.
And you're putting anything in your body.
Absolutely.
Which is why you need to consult with a healing consultant.
Thank you. Thank thee. You know how I feel about that? Yes. Yes.
So we have one more question before we go to break.
Absolutely.
And this one is,
Mhm.
what is CBD oil used for?
Oh, well, now the most common use is that people use it in a tincture and use it as drops, sublingual drops, which means that you put it up on your tongue.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a more rapid dissolving rate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you bypass, you know, we talked about digestion and edibles and things of that nature. Well, it's quicker. It's a quicker what we call a quicker onset. It's not the best tasting because it depends on the medium that the oil, it depends on the kind of oil that they're using to balance and stabilize the CBD in it, or the THC, whatever they decide, whatever combination you're going to use. But yes, it's used as a medium or carrier, and most people use it sublingual. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just a couple of drops up on your tongue.
And you can, but like you said, the taste just isn't quite there.
I'm going to tell you, I have tried them. For me, it tastes very woodsy.
Ugh.
But I'm not a huge fan of ingesting pining in my drops, because that's what gives you that kind of. I think we've all tasted. I think we probably all have. And you taste the little marijuana, like, you know, drops, and it gives you that kind of woodsy, piney, you know, grass taste. That's kind of, I mean, I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm going to be honest. But it is a quicker onset.
Okay.
Yeah. So people like it, and that's what it's used for.
And probably for people who might be in chronic pain, just to get it a little bit faster in their system.
It's quicker.
Okay.
But now I think the quickest way, honestly, to relieve pain, I think, as we talked about, is inhalation. It just doesn't last as long. It only lasts about 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. All right then. Well, we have to take a quick break, but we'll be back because we have a lot more questions to get through, and a lot of your questions that we need to get through. So keep it right here. It's Healing Wednesdays on TDS Radio. It's our voice, our culture. We are back. And
Yes.
we are having a very, very good conversation about CBD and just really debunking some of the myths,
Yes.
talking about the good things, some of the bad things. Of course, there's always the ugly. And
Yeah.
we're talking about that right now.
Yeah.
So
Well, we're educating.
yes. Yes.
We're educating.
Yes.
That's what we're
Absolutely.
doing.
And that's what everybody needs before you make your next decision when it comes to that. Because everyone just throws the word CBD around.
Mhm.
And we're not really understanding the full scope of what it is and what it means.
No.
So, with that
No.
being said, I think
No.
it's good for us to jump into this question,
Okay.
which is, what is the difference between hemp and cannabis?
Okay. Let's just do the basics.
Okay.
Hemp basically has a high concentration of CBD
Mm-hmm.
and a very small concentration of THC. And we all know the euphoric feeling that's associated with THC.
Mm-hmm.
Cannabis, marijuana, has a high THC level and a low CBD level. That's basic. There's hundreds of other compounds and cannabinoids that are in cannabis, but those are the two. That's the basic difference.
Mm-hmm.
That's the basic difference. And we've talked about the difference between the THC and CBD. So, but those are the two basic differences.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
One everybody can get.
Yes.
That's simple.
Mm-hmm.
One's high in one, one's high in the other.
Mm-hmm.
That's simple.
And there's a new hemp store right around the corner from my house,
Mhm.
and that's just like their thing. It's like posted all over the front of their window and signs and all of that. And it makes me just wonder, like, when people see that, what are they? Do they really know what they're walking into the store and getting, or what it is that they're expecting?
Yes, and I wonder, and I always wonder if the people that are in those stores,
Mm-hmm.
if they're educated on it.
Mm-hmm.
But the truth is that you can say what's normally happens is you walk in and they go, oh, well, a lot of my customers like this brand, or a lot of my customers like this one,
Mm-hmm.
Which is good in a way, because
Mm-hmm.
but it's normally like they're quote best sellers.
Mm-hmm.
But your question has to be, well, what's in it?
That was what I was going to ask you.
How many milligrams of THC are you giving me? How many milligrams of CBD? Because if you don't want to get high,
Mm-hmm.
but you want the benefits, then you don't necessarily need a high concentration of THC.
Mm-hmm.
And that's truth.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's not what you're looking for. And I think that's important when you visit any shop and when you're shopping, period.
And that was going to be the question that I asked as a follow-up to that. When people are going to these stores, they're still new to it, but they're looking for something, whether it's a relaxing sensation or, just a upper, they just kind of want to laugh and feel good. They're immediately just going based off of, as you said, oh, well, my customers like this, but they're still not quite knowing the levels of THC that might be in it, or even if that's the type of feeling that they want.
Well, because this is the thing, and I think that we all have to understand this, that no one can prescribe cannabis. Not a doctor, no one. You can make recommendations, and you can help guide people through that journey. And when you walk in there, you as a consumer have to figure out what you're looking for. And so, one of the questions I always say is that, what are you trying to look for? What are you looking for? What do you want out of this? What's your end game?
Exactly.
What's your end game? Because that's real talk, and addressing whatever that end game is. And for a lot of people, that's pain and anxiety and depression.
And that's true.
That's true. I mean, that's what they're looking. That's normally what people are looking for. They don't necessarily want to necessarily have a high concentration of THC.
No, God, no.
No,
God, no.
no, because
No.
because we talked about that. Then you got
Mhm.
to talk about the whole trip. What kind of trip are you taking today?
Yes.
Right. If are you going to
Right.
take one? How far are you going to go on that trip?
Exactly. But no, you won't die.
Yeah, please, you will not die. You will feel like you are going to die. Let's put that out there. You may even want to, but you will not. It will not be because of that. I know. I'm going to tell you, and you can write to me and say, "Oh no, Varna, I definitely thought you weren't going
No.
to die, babe, because you're
No.
writing me."
Hey, hello.
So you didn't.
I know that's
You
right.
may have thought you were. You may
live to
have
see
wished
another
you
day.
were, but you're emailing me, so I
So
know
we're
it didn't
good.
happen. You're telling me
That
about
is
it,
so
so I
true.
know it didn't happen.
Oh gosh, that is so true.
It's a true statement. It's a true statement.
So, with that being said, for
Mhm.
people who travel a lot, I'm
Yes.
one of those
Mhm.
people when it comes to work, I
Uh-huh.
travel a lot.
Mhm.
And Lord knows my job sends my anxiety through the roof.
Yes.
Is it okay to travel with your CBD?
The general rule is a lot of my customers. We're doing real talk. Pack it in their in their check luggage.
Okay.
What I can say is that my products have gone out of country.
Okay.
They've traveled through the continental United States, but hemp laws, and cannabis laws are two different things. Are two different things, and every I want to say every state in the union have CBD laws, but marijuana cannabis laws, because you can derive CBD from cannabis, hemp. Hemp is covered under the Farm Act that
Okay.
we've all talked about. So back to the original question. Yes, but please check the state that you're traveling to. That's what I will say about that, because there's probably about 5 states that cannabis is illegal on the state level as well as federal. So those states are, I'm trying to remember, I think Midwestern states.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Generally Midwestern.
Yeah. And like you said, that would probably be the best thing. Number one, put it in your check bag.
So yes.
And then check.
And check, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Because that's being responsible.
Exactly.
Is check, yes.
Exactly. Okay. Okay.
I mean, I think that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want people to think, okay,
I'm good.
Yeah, because I think there's about 5 or 6 states that any CBD, whether it's derived from hemp or cannabis, is illegal in their state.
Gotcha. And the last thing you need is to be locked up over something that you could have looked up.
Well, just yes, because we don't want you to be locked up for something that you didn't look up. I mean, so that's right. Because again, we are being real.
Absolutely.
We are being real.
Absolutely.
So we got to.
So just do your due diligence, just take a moment and go ahead and look and see before, and then don't just think like, oh, I'm good, because it could be just at that moment where they randomly check your luggage, and before you know it, you're being pulled to the side.
I would put it in. I would put it in check. That's just me being completely honest and real about it. That's what I would do.
Sounds good to me. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. And speaking of that,
yes,
let's talk about this, because I feel like this one irked your soul a little bit.
Oh, what
just
is
a bit.
It? Oh, okay.
Is there such a good thing as good or bad quality CBD?
Oh, yes, you wound me. You wound me. Okay. Yes, there is but that truly entails. Okay, let's just be honest. Anybody, any manufacturer, anybody, farmer, whoever, they can name it whatever they want to. So they can say, oh, and it's not indicative of the quality or the strength or the products in it. But I mean, it's not. I mean, I can name it, Purple Haze, which is a brand, but Purple Haze. And then, that conjures up mellow and soothing. And it can be so full of THC that you are bouncing off the walls. So, yes. So quality is different, because if I'm looking for something that I want to relax, relate, and just chill, and I don't want any deviation and my personal psychosis, as they say, then I don't, I want CBD. I don't want a high level of THC. You know what I mean? So it's not, no, it's not, quality, quality unfortunately is left to the person, the consumer. It is.
And that's tough.
It sucks.
That's
it really
really
does.
tough.
It really does, because it puts it on you, because we've talked about the fact that the FDA is not regulated. It's not regulated. So you're trusting whomever is manufacturing it.
Right. So when you're walking into these shops, it's just like, well, let's just see, let's roll the dice. And that can be very scary.
Yes. Because, you can walk in and, like we've talked about this, they don't have to list the ingredients.
No.
They don't have to list anything. They don't, you can go in and they can say, oh, well, this is CBD. And then you go, well, okay, that's CBD. And, we talk about broad spectrum, full spectrum. Full spectrum, has a lot of the terpenes that we talked about, the additives, the terpenes, all the things that we love, which makes it a full spectrum. We talked that's what full spectrum means.
Oh, wow.
Broad spectrum is that you're kind of concentrating on whatever a THC blend or a THC CBD balance, whatever you're looking for. So we're talking about whether you have any terpenes in there or additives or not. That's what we're talking about.
And when we talk about, quality, there was one instance, and I mean, you may be like, girl, once again, you overdosed. There was one instance where we went to some shop in California and got like some edibles. They were like cookies or something like that. And I took, I want to say half or maybe a little less than that, because I did not want to have a bad trip again.
Okay.
But one thing that I noticed is that I had this tingling sensation all throughout my body. And I'm like, what is this? What is going on?
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. That's probably an additive. Because did you have the physical sensation of tingling, or was it more psychological?
No, it literally felt like somebody was doing like this to my skin.
Oh.
Yeah. And I couldn't stop it. I felt it all over on my face, my arms, chest, legs.
Yeah.
And it lasted for probably about like 20 to 30 minutes. Then it went away. But it was one of those things where I did not like that, because I'm like, that's not what I don't want to feel like I'm being tickled. Like,
yes,
that's creepy.
Girl, I don't know what that was.
There we go. We don't know.
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. That sounds like something that needs to go to a lab, though.
Exactly.
I don't know. Because I don't know.
Yeah, it was. I would have to ask my friend, because I know we were in California and we went to one of the little dispensaries or whatever have you. And he just, went for it. And like I said, bought the little cookies or whatever. And like I said, I know for a fact, I was like, I'm not going to have what happened to me 2 times before happen a third. And actually a fourth, because obviously I didn't learn my lesson. But when I took it, I'm on the computer. And like I said, I felt the feeling of like being evened out.
Okay.
But it was like another added layer of like, well, while you're evened out, let's start feeling like somebody's literally going like this to your whole entire body. And I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah, this is eliciting a whole bunch of ooh, ah, and girl.
Yeah.
I wish I knew. I don't know that one.
And
'Cause there's
that's
so
bad
many-
when you
'cause
say that.
when you say that, there are so many things that I think everyone knows that I'm a nurse anesthesiologist.
Mhm.
So I always think, okay, there's a lot of things that I know of that are not, but that's not a natural thing. That's not a natural occurrence. There are a lot of drugs that I know of, but it's not natural for them to do that to you. So
Right.
you got me.
And see,
I
that
don't
scares
know
me.
what
That
that.
really scares me because I have no idea. And I wish we still had the packaging to be able to give to you.
Yes.
But like you said, you don't have to list the ingredients. So we still don't
No.
know.
Or
You know.
or the percentages that are in them.
Right. Right.
So
But I don't,
huh.
once again, when people are out here, when y'all are doing this
Yeah.
stuff, what are you looking for?
Oh, what are you looking for?
Because I don't want to
Tell
be
me.
tickled.
Yes. Because see, that's something you don't want.
No.
You
No.
weren't looking for that.
I was not looking for that. I just wanted to chill and I
No.
just wanted to relax and that's it,
Yeah.
but still be able to function.
Mm.
But when you have these added things of like your body feeling like it's moving, or it almost felt like pop fuzz in your
Oh.
mouth. That's what it kind of felt like. But
Oh.
all from head to toe. And I'm literally typing on my computer and I'm like, this feels crazy. I feel crazy. I don't
Well,
like
I'm sure
this.
you did. Oh, girl, honey.
I was somebody's lab rat.
I'm sorry for you. My face is just making a whole bunch of things here because I just don't know what to say about that. Except I am so sorry.
Yeah, but I'm glad to know that that's not normal because
no.
what you're telling me is that that's not something that you should
Well, who would
experience.
want that?
Yeah,
Who would want that?
right. Right.
No, ma'am.
No. So I
No.
don't remember the name. This was not my
No.
idea. This was a friend. You know, they wanted to do this. And of course, I'm like, went on vacation. Why not?
Well, it's vacation.
Stupid me.
But still, do you want that on vacation?
No.
Do you want to feel that way on vacation?
No.
Okay.
No. I like being tickled, but not
This
like
is
that.
just say no.
Yeah.
That's what this is. This is a just say
Exactly.
no
Like,
moment.
no, this is sexual assault. Get off me.
Yeah, this is horrible. Just say no. This is an invasion.
Yes.
No.
So when we talk about things like good and bad quality, that's when
Yes.
in my opinion, and you know, of course, I don't have the extensive knowledge that you do, but that's something I would think where I'm like, that wasn't a good quality product because I don't want that feeling.
Because you don't want that.
No.
And trust, and I will say this is that you have to look for it,
Mhm.
but you have to be a conscious, educated consumer.
Mm-hmm.
If this is what you want to do, you have to be.
Or you can just go to thehealingconsultant.com and she takes care of all of that. She takes care of all of that for you.
Same thing. And you can do my consultation.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello.
Y'all better get
Hello.
with it. Let me go ahead and
Hello. Good
drop that
evening.
right
Yes.
here.
Yes.
Follow the healing
Ma'am.
consultant.
Because you can do that.
You know,
And we can have
hello.
Because this is part of the consultation. You know, it's a little bit more extensive conversation
Mhm.
about it. And it's looking at medications that you're currently on. It's looking at interactions or possible interactions.
Exactly.
It's looking at your goals. It's you telling me what your goals are,
Mhm.
and me coaching you around that and see what's best for you. It's a journey because it is a journey.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a quick fix.
Absolutely.
And I hope that everyone understands that.
Listen,
It's
tell
not a quick fix.
all of my friends out there, when I tell
Mhm.
you about Miss Spencer and her product, I need y'all to believe me. Don't be out here all tense with your shoulders to your ears, looking crazy, hair falling out, because you won't take the initiative to get the help that you need. And it is by someone, like, I can't stress this enough, who looks like us and who cares about us and who has done the extensive research and the work to get to this point to where she can tell people and educate people.
Yes.
So-
I mean, I'm reading the research articles.
Mhm.
I'm all doing that all for you.
Yes. Instead of you trusting, Patrick out here,
Yes.
Patrick
Yes.
the plug,
Yes.
where he doesn't know what he's giving you,
Mhm.
and you're willing to take the advice from somebody who is doing the research and who cares about what you're putting in your body.
Absolutely.
So,
Yes.
speaking
I mean,
of,
for me, it's a love and it's a journey and it's education,
Mhm.
because I truly feel we as African American people have are familiar with the product, but not really.
Right.
Not really.
No.
But
There's
not really.
so many questions, and I run into so
Absolutely.
many people who have the same experience that I do,
Mhm.
where they're just like, oh, I was on this bad trip where I did, or this happened to me. And then it didn't occur to me until you said something that we have all overdosed, because you
Yeah.
should not feel like
You
that.
should not
You
feel
should
that
not
way.
melt into the
No,
couch.
no, not unless you want to.
You should still be able to be a
Not-
functional adult.
Absolutely, but not unless you want to. Because if you want to, then okay,
Mhm.
this is what you need. This is your path.
Mhm.
If you want to,
Sure.
if you want to sink into your couch and just be a passive participant in everything that's going on around you, and you're cool with that,
Right.
then that's a different path. But if you truly are just trying to activate, we talked about the ECS, the endocannabinoid system, then that's different.
Mm-hmm.
That's different.
Absolutely.
You're asking something different of it,
Absolutely.
and you should not have bad trips. But I'm going to tell everyone now,
Ooh.
if you had a bad trip that was a really high concentration of THC and you overdosed,
Child, one too many
but
times.
you lived.
But I am here to tell the story.
But you lived through it.
The stories.
Tell the story. You're here. Tell the story. That's all I'm saying.
I just knew I was dying, but
like I said, it may make you wish you wanted to.
but we're still here. We're
You're
good.
still here.
And then when you come down, you realize I was tripping. Like,
Yeah.
You should have just let it. You should have just wrote it out. That's it.
You should just set your butt down
Exactly.
somewhere and let it roll.
No, I couldn't. do that.
because it's happening. It's happening.
Whether you wanted to or
Whether
not.
you wanted to or not, it's happening. It's going to take time to take care of it. That's just the way it is. So, in your mind, you go, okay, this, I'm tripping.
Mhm.
All right, let me sit my butt down somewhere, because the only thing that's going to cure that is time.
That's all. That is all.
That's it.
That's all.
it.
No amount of food,
No.
water, coffee,
No.
any of that. No.
Oh God, no! Don't add coffee onto it. That's a stimulant too. I mean, caffeine. You'll be like, woo.
Mhm.
You'll be buzzing around like a freaking bee.
So just sit down. And
Just sit your butt down somewhere.
all
Just sit yourself down somewhere.
So
Because that's it.
that's all you can do.
That's all you got. We talked about that. If you got a dry mouth, you can do that one like cotton thing.
Oh God, that's the
Yeah,
worst.
get some water with some lemon juice in it.
That's the worst.
I mean, that'll stimulate the saliva glands, to produce saliva, but that's a whole different other topic. But I digress. But yeah, to help you through it.
You know what? It is not Friday. My mind went to a different place. Anyway.
That's what I'm talking about. Again, a whole different other conversation, girl.
Different conversation.
Uh-huh. We can go in so many directions with this.
Yes. You guys, for that conversation, tune in on Friday.
Yes. Because I'll be tuning in on Friday for that one. Okay.
So we have two more questions before we get out of here.
Okay, baby. Talk to me. All right.
Let's bring it back.
Bring it back. Wheel it in, baby. We saw it.
So
Okay, here we go.
our next question is, will Delta 8 show up in my drug test? Which is a really good question.
It is a very good question.
Mhm.
The short answer, the safe answer is yes.
Okay.
Okay. The long version of that is we get back to quality. We get back to percentage of THC that's in your system. We get back to what the source is. Is it cannabis? Are you getting it from cannabis or are you getting it from hemp? It's are we talking chronic usage? Are we talking a huge buildup? Again, that relates back to the percentage of THC or Delta 8, because Delta 8 is just basically a weaker version of Delta 9, which is THC. So all of that factors in. Because on your drug test, what they're looking for is on the metabolite of Delta 8.
Gotcha.
That's what testing is. That's what they're looking for.
Okay.
And it's the breakdown. It's the metabolites of the breakdown in from Delta 8. That's what the test is looking for.
Should you let them know beforehand?
Not really.
Not really.
I mean,
okay.
I wouldn't.
No, that's okay.
I mean, I would.
I know that's right.
But but people should do what they feel comfortable
Mhm.
with.
Mm-hmm.
No,
I know that's right.
I wouldn't. I mean, the truth is that I have noticed a high percentage of people that test positive.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't tell me. That just tells me, as a provider, that you're over 0.3% of THC. That's and you've broken down a Delta 8 or
Mhm.
Delta 9 product or
Okay.
THC. That's the only thing it tells me.
Okay.
It doesn't tell me how much. It doesn't tell me anything else.
Huh.
It just says that you're above this limit,
Gotcha.
the minimum.
Okay.
Limit. But that doesn't tell me anything.
Okay.
Other than that,
Oh. Well, yeah, I keep my mouth shut.
it's not going to tell me anything.
Right. Right.
I mean, that's the only thing it's going to tell me.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that so many, the world is changing. So many companies they're not testing.
Mhm.
So many companies, federal, and of course federal institutions are still doing that.
Mm.
If you work for the federal government.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I would think, given where people are now
Mhm.
and how anxiety and depression and, all of that is such a huge, huge issue, especially coming out, still enduring a pandemic.
Oh, yes.
That at some point it would be one of those things where it's expected or it is excusable because people are trying anything just to feel like themselves again.
Yes. I mean,
And would you rather that, or would you rather somebody who is completely hooked on prescription drugs?
Yes. And I mean, we're not even going to talk about that. Now, that's an addiction there.
Right.
That is an addiction. And I mean, that's a whole different other topic.
Mhm.
But, what they are doing some research and work using cannabis
Mm-hmm.
in patients that are have opioid addictions.
Mm.
So it's very promising work. Getting them to transition.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's called Harm Program. But yes,
that's awesome.
It is. I think so.
Exactly.
I think so. And and it's let's be honest. I mean, I don't think I've never so far there's not been any reported death of someone being high and killing somebody.
Right.
I mean,
but I have seen people do desperate things when they're hooked to prescription drugs.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all know that.
Mm-hmm.
We all know that. So honestly, I think it's just a very new frontier that is very promising. And I like that.
I like that too. I think that's awesome. I want to talk more about that.
Mm-hmm. I do. We're going to have to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be one of our upcoming shows.
I know that's right.
Okay.
You hear that, y'all? She's coming back for season 2.
Yes, season 2.
You see it.
You see it. Yes, season 2. That's going to be one of our topics.
Yes, I'm here for it.
Oh, yes.
That's when you're rocking with the TDS family.
Yes. And I truly hope that people will send in topics that they want me to address.
Oh, okay. Well, then let's go ahead and put up that email one more time.
I mean, why not?
Because if you guys have any questions, once again, or like you said, topics. And I think that is a really good topic that I would love to discuss and really jump in and delve in when we talk about people who have a addiction to a certain drug, but then possibly taking them from that and thinking, okay, well, let's try cannabis, something,
yes.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's what we in certain healthcare communities are looking at. And not to mention the patients. I mean, people are doing that.
Yes.
Let's be honest. People are doing that. We've talked about the fact that with chronic pain, people are trying to find natural alternatives to their high opioid usage.
Yes.
So it's not it's not necessarily, it's patients driving that discussion
Mm-hmm.
and seeking and looking for answers because they don't want to be that way.
No,
They don't want to live that way.
no,
You
no.
know? And so and the fact that we as a society are restricting opioid usage.
Yes.
And it's very difficult to tell someone that's been using prescription pain meds for 20, 30 years and tell them, no, you can't have it anymore.
Exactly.
And give them nothing
To
substitute for that.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
And I mean, I could even see where this could possibly something that grows to even in jail and prison systems, where instead of giving them another drug, it's like, well, let's give them this.
Yeah,
You know.
I think they
Yeah.
they use the
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I think they do their own thing.
Yeah, it's a little too hopeful there.
Yeah, but I mean, I think they, I think that they, it's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. It's a thing. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, we talk about, oh, well, it's a gateway drug, or the truth is that it's here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So can we please just learn about it, learn about its positive properties?
Right. And can we squash that gateway drug thing? Because I can tell you right now, in my times of trying any of this, I have never thought, you know what I want to do? I want to smoke crack. Like,
yeah, because that's my natural step, right?
Right.
That's my progression.
I want to snort coke. Like, that's never come across in my mind to think, okay, well, this is what else I want to do. There's something deeper when you feel like I'm chasing this high,
Right.
So let's go ahead and let's stop that.
Please. It's just simply not. No, it's not. Oh God,
I need people to stop that. But we have
don't get me started. Yes.
One more question before we get out of
me.
here. And this one is different types of cannabis for chronic pain.
Oh, yes. We talked about the fact that that just because the name says something doesn't mean that's the strand or that's the purpose of it. For people with chronic pain, there's so many kind of things that you need to address. But there's 3 type of what we call chemobars, which is the kind of breakdown, the type. Type 1 is more of like a high THC level and a low CBD level. Type 2 is balanced. You're 50-50. So it's it's 1% this is if it's 50% this one and 50% that one. Okay. And then type 3, of course, is the opposite. It's going to be a high CBD, low THC.
Okay.
And for a lot of people, they, type 1 and type 2 works for them, which means that they would like a high THC and a lower CBD, or a balance, a 50-50. But for people who have chronic pain, which means that, you've been dealing with this for a very long time. The truth is that even if people choose to do a high CBD and a low THC, the truth is that they like a little bit of THC.
Okay.
Because you're dealing with a whole bunch of psychological things that are going on as well. And chronic pain is no joke.
No, not at all.
I mean, it is no joke, and it is subjective. And my chronic pain and your chronic pain can be completely different, but it's still chronic pain.
It is. Absolutely.
It's still chronic pain.
Absolutely.
And that, in my opinion, those type of chronic pain things, that's why we talk about that. It's not just using the salve and the roll-on, but it's ingesting like the drops. Because we're talking about anti-inflammatory issues. We're talking about increasing our ECS so that we can, give out that serotonin and dopamine and the good feelings naturally. And so we're supporting that, and we're supporting it with the terpene use in it, because you're looking for all of those properties that balance your ECS and help calm down those type of really inflammatory nerve endings that you've got going on there. So we talked about that. So it's really just a kind of a look at it as a balanced approach to it. So most people, they do want a little bit of THC.
Which is completely
And that's
understandable.
just truth.
Yeah. And it's
Dealing with chronic
understandable,
pain.
like you said,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And I mean, that's kind of treating chronic pain. I think, as we all know, is not just a quick fix, and it's
No.
not going to be done overnight.
No, not at all. Not at all.
And that's part of the consultation part of the business, is that it's because it won't be.
And while you are talking about the consultation,
Yes.
tell us a little bit about that 10-day trial box.
Oh, yes. Because, we talked about it.
Yes, ma'am.
If you want to just try try things. Try to figure out like what works for you. Because we talked about this. It could, you can like the gummies, ingestibles, because we talked about that it's going to take an hour and a half, but it lasts longer throughout your day. Or if you want to do the drops go in anything that you're drinking, and it doesn't leave an aftertaste. And it works. They work faster. 15, 20 minutes. You're feeling level. We talk balanced. You're feeling balanced. So it lets you get to try that. It lets you get to try the roll-on. We love the roll-on for that local inflammation. It has that in it. So it has the CBD gummies. It has the 10-day of the Delta 8 and the drops and the roll-on.
Hey now.
So you can try, see what works for you. You know what I'm talking about?
Now.
Yes.
Hey now.
Second now. Let's do the 2 snaps and that. So yes. So work with it. See what works for you.
Boom.
Yes. 10-day trial, honey.
Exactly.
What works for you?
And you can get that 10-day trial box at thehealingconsultant.com. We have the website flashing right here, so you can see that. And when you see that, you're in the right place. And then, of course, if you have any other questions, where can they go?
Working. Yes, ma'am.
Let them know your email address.
Oh, yes. Spencer at thehealingconsultant.com. Yes. Boom. Please, boom. Yes. Now, don't mention, we still got teas.
Yeah.
It's not in a 10-day, but we got teas.
Hello.
Honey. Day and night.
Hello.
Natural.
Hello.
Talk to me.
Y'all better get with it.
Get with it. Get with it.
And once again, guys, this was our Healing Wednesdays. Every other Wednesday, we are here. We are having these very important discussions centered around just us, pain, feeling better, feeling balanced, feeling even out, because I don't know how you guys feel, but I know sometimes you just need that little added boost. Yes. And one thing I can say is that I am so glad that God placed you into my life.
Thank you.
Because you have saved a lot of lives.
I hope so. I just listen, just listen. If you just want to just listen, pick out the stuff that's relevant to you, for you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. And like we said, if you have any questions, she is just one email away. And then we can answer them right here. And the good thing is we are going to have our season 2.
We're going to have a season 2.
We're having a season 2.
And that means having a season 2.
We are going to talk about your nighttime routine.
Yes. Because,
hello,
nighttime
is the right time.
Is the right time. I was going to say it, but I was going to say it. You saw me. I was right. But I was going to say it. But thank you for saying it.
Hello. And we might have to, bring somebody in to talk about how everything works in conjunction.
Yes.
With your CBD and bringing you down and, making sure that you're good and creating the aroma and all of that.
It's a mindset.
You better say it.
Right?
You better say it.
It's a mindset to get up, and it's a mindset to go to sleep.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It don't have to be negative, honey.
Not at all.
Make it positive.
Hello. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself.
Right now. Don't bring out my night voice.
I know. That's right.
Don't bring out the night voice, because it goes with the night product.
Hello. We got a whole new alter ego waiting for y'all.
No, as I said, don't play with me.
But with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in again. Make sure you're following The Healing Consultant. The Instagram is right there. And of course, you can always go online, thehealingconsultant.com. And we're here every other week. Whatever questions you have, Let's knock them out.
Yes.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Hello.
Can we talk? Right? We have to.
Love it. Hey now.
If we don't, who will?
Ha-
I mean, really, if we
Hello?
don't, who will? We got to
Hello?
take care of us.
And that is what we are trying to do. So y'all get on board. Let's go ahead and jump
Yes.
on the healing train,
Yes.
and let's do this. Let's do this.
Yes.
Let's heal.
Absolutely.
Hey now.
Hello.
And with that being said, you all have a great night.
Yes.
And anything left?
No, I just wish everyone well. I wish
know, that's
everyone
right.
great journeys. And I wish everyone to start it.
Hello.
Happy, happy, joy, joy.
I
honey.
know that's right.
Happy, happy, joy, joy.
It is TDS Radio, our voice, our culture.